Okay, I'd like to call to order the Township Committee meeting, Monday, January 13th, 2025. If you're able, you could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to move on to the Open Public Meeting Statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was sent to the Cranbury Press, Trent Times, and Home News Tribune on January 3rd, 2025, posted on the Township's website and sent to those who requested a copy of this notice. I'll move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Present.
Mrs. El-Badawi?
Here.
Dr. Rogers?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
And Mayor Kinnear.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any agenda additions or changes?
We do not.
No, right?
No, we're going to do that.
Perfect. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes? There'll be 3 here to approve. The regular meeting, our closed session, both on December 9th, and then our reorganization meeting on January 2nd.
So moved.
Yeah, they should be separated because we have a couple of people that didn't attend.
Ah, okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's start with our regular meeting on December 9th.
You could do the regular and closed on that one.
Regular and closed. Okay, yeah. yeah.
Also moved. Need a second?
Can I get a second?
Second. Can't say.
Okay, we'll move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
I'll abstain.
Mrs. El-Badawi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mayor Kinnear.
Yes. And then can I get another motion for our reorganization meeting on January 2nd, those minutes?
I'll move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Mrs. El-Badawi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Abstain.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mayor Kinnear.
Yes.
And Mayor, I do have a correction. We were going to move department heads to the top.
Yeah, if we could, because I know there's a conflict over at the firehouse with training, I would like to ask if Charlie could just give us a brief update, Chief Smith, on the recent events in our community.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
You hit it till the red button.
Other side, other way.
There you go.
There we go. How's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you.
Never had that problem. Yeah, we had, God, I don't even know what the date was, last Friday. A week ago Friday, we had a report of a chimney fire on Cranbury Neck Road, 60 Cranbury Neck Road, I believe it was. Call originally went to Plainsboro because whoever called it on the cell hit their tower. So they had a little head start, which was good. I pulled in right before them. I smelled it coming out of the house. I heard what it was. I called for a tanker task force before I left my driveway, actually. So we had things moving as fast as we could. But it does take time. And unfortunately, the closest water is Wynwood. So there's no water main on that street. So you know, people were hoping we could use the pond or the pool, but that's not possible. The way just can't get to it. So, and we used the manpower instead of going there. Used manpower to set up the main coming down the driveway. Driveway was 1,800 feet long. We had 2 5-inch lines down there, so we had 3,600 feet of 5-inch hose laid out. We had we flowed 455,000 gallons. We had 8 engines, 3 ladders, 17 tankers, and we filled the tankers with 4 fill stations throughout the town. One was Wynwood, one was Station and Maine. I think the other was Park and Maine, and then another one at maybe Dancer Drive. I'm not sure where that was, because I was at the scene. We had a water supply officer. That's how that works when we call a tanker. So, unfortunately, they lost everything. Pretty much no one was hurt. That's the main thing. Still undetermined, you know, the cause, but it was in the area of the fireplace, so it's pretty straightforward. But nobody wants to commit to anything. I guess that's about it. You guys have any? Oh, we had EMS there. We had Heightstown and Cranbury EMS, and we had Princeton rehab unit there too. So logistics was a nightmare. I've always thought about that house. It'd be the worst place to have a fire. And it's one of the biggest houses in Cranbury. Yeah. So, you know.
Did I read it correctly that it's over 15 townships or municipalities?
Oh, it was
were
more than that.
Organized.
Yeah, it was more than
I
that.
saw
Like
the
I said, we
list.
had
I counted.
17 tankers.
Yeah.
So there's 17 towns. We had 8 engines, there's another 8. We had 3 ladders, that's another 3. So 8, 11, 28, about 28, 30 people, yeah.
Wow.
30 towns, yeah.
That's incredible effort. Thank you.
Well, we do it all the time, you just don't see it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, this tanker task force, we've been doing it for years and it works well. You know, I've spent 2 days up in North Brunswick. They had a warehouse fire. Our tanker was up there for like 48 hours. And we've been up in Woodbridge for fire. So it's just takes time to set it up and people don't realize that, you know. But all in all, we've had all good feedback. So the homeowners were grateful.
Yeah. I witnessed that firsthand. Their gratitude was overwhelming,
Yeah.
emotional and overwhelming.
Oh, we saved his Camaro too.
I heard.
I think that was the happiest.
I did hear that.
I told him to push it into my driveway, but nobody wanted to listen. That's about it, I guess. I don't know
Anyone
what
have any questions or
Yeah,
comments?
thank you guys. I
Yeah.
mean, that's amazing. I mean, I heard from Leans too, and they were so grateful. So, I have a sort of neophyte question. Any house in Cranbury that's on well water would go through the same thing? I mean,
No.
if they're,
Well, no, because there's houses that have water in front of them that not hooked up to it. There's hydrants in Shadow Oaks.
Yeah.
The new section, Park Place. Dye Road has hydrants. It's one of the few. Now, most everything over there. There should be hydrants on, we'd like to put more on South Main. All right. They stop at, I think, St. David's now, something like that, or Dancer Drive. But most of the town's covered.
it's just a really sort of freak occurrence. I mean, not freak, but I mean,
No, it's not free. It's just, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
We just hope house never caught on fire. You know.
is there anything,
They made a push. They did make an interior attack and they're starting to get a knock on it and they ran out of water. So, and then it's 40 minutes to get water. So you're done. I couldn't even open the roof till we got water. So,
Yeah.
you know, it just went right across the ridge.
Yeah. is there anything like a piece of equipment that you guys would, you know, going down the road that you would have had here would make a difference? What?
Helicopter?
Helicopter.
That's really what, just
Yeah.
fly over and dump it.
Yeah.
Right now, no. I think we used throughout the whole phase, it came in at 10:30 and I got home at 1 o'clock the next afternoon. And between that time, we used every piece of equipment we have because we had a couple of rekindles. You can't get in and do a good overhaul. So you just kind of put it out, wait till it stops smoking, and we come back an hour or two later. So we went back on ourselves. We did that, just Cranbury. We had our tower, our tanker, and our engine there. So, yeah. No, I appreciate, the thought, but honestly, we had all the equipment. It's just a bad place.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
In town with a hook of hydrant up, they would have been knocked without, no problem. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have made it in that first room there where the family room was, and that would probably been it. But water does the trick. Yeah. And I want to thank you for all your support too. I appreciate it. We have one more. If you're done, anything else? Any other questions? Go ahead.
Again, just thank you so much for your heroic efforts. I was out there.
Mhm.
I arrived late that night from an event and I was surprised to see orange in the sky and I just didn't know what was going on. And
Weren't we all?
yeah, of course. It was very scary. And so to see all of you, like everybody was composed and everybody
Oh,
had
yeah.
a plan and everybody was there, all the different fire marshals from different towns. It was quite impressive.
Yeah. What happened when you go to second alarm, you get, when we call it the tanker task force, then you get, what they call, a fire marshal. Well, a fire marshal from the county was there.
Yeah.
You get fire coordinators.
Yeah.
That helped with the tankers and everything else. They
Yeah,
come from
yeah.
different towns.
And they were very complimentary. Everybody was complimenting each other. So it was,
Oh, yeah.
it was
I
just
think
nice to see.
Honestly, the results sucked, but it went as well as we could expect. I'll be honest with you.
Of course, of course. And I wanted to share with you that I was at a Middlesex County event and Committeeman Chuck Kinney, he came up to me to sort of talk a little bit about the fire and just to recognize that that our town had been through such a big event and just to honor the fire department.
Okay.
that-
Where's he from? I'm sorry, state representative?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
a county representative.
County, oh, okay.
Yeah, county representative, yeah. county
Oh, okay.
commissioner.
Nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you all. Just please extend our gratitude and
We will.
Yeah.
We will. Thank you. Rich Zimmer, our president, has a petition we want to present to you tonight. So we get it on the record. Go ahead, Rich.
Thank you, Charlie. Yes, as you know, just over a month ago, we came to this committee in regards to the possible formation of a fire district here in Cranbury. We've moved along with that. We had 4 information sessions, one at the Cranbury Library, one at our firehouse, one down at the Four Seasons Clubhouse. And then just last week, we were invited to a Lions Club meeting. So, we got the word out of, kind of what we were doing. And part of that was also obtaining signatures that's needed, which is the next step. So pursuant to NJSA 40A, 14-70A, there's a certain percentage of Cranbury residents who are registered voters that needed to sign a petition. I believe that number is about 160, 150.
Yeah, 5%.
We're ready tonight to present to the committee and to Deborah as clerk to verify. We have a little over 200 signatures from townspeople. So we'd just like to present that to you tonight to start to move forward with this.
Okay, great. And then the next step in that process is the validation of all the signatures.
Validation of all the signatures,
Yeah.
and then kind of go from there.
Our attorney is starting on the paperwork for the state to help you guys out, so.
Yeah.
He started that process. I think what we need to do is get our accountant, Denise, together, and Jay, and maybe myself and Rich, just to go over all the Oprahs that you sent, make sure that we covered all our expenses, you know what I mean? Just double check everything. Does that make sense, Deb, or Denise? Yeah, I think so. And then come up with a finalized budget. And then, I guess take it from there.
Okay, perfect.
And you're gonna have to have a hearing.
Yeah,
Once I verify,
that's after.
Yeah.
once I verify with the county, the 5%, I just want to confirm with them how many signatures, and then I'll go through and verify them, and I'll let you guys know what
We
we're
came
gonna
up with
do.
170 or 160 something, but so we got more than we.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll let you guys know if there's any issues.
And we've had all positive feedback, to be quite honest with you. We've had no one that's really, well, one guy likes to push our buttons, but that's nothing new for the last 20 years.
No. A lot of questions are probably going to be needed to be presented at the final
The
hearing.
hearing, right.
It was stuff that just in the preliminary phase where we weren't able to answer questions for them. But like Charlie said,
Yeah.
we did get a lot of positive feedback from townspeople.
Until we finalize that original budget or the initial budget, we can't answer a lot of questions.
Right, that's kind of predicted that.
Right,
So,
right.
yep.
So, all right.
Makes sense.
Any questions?
Thank you, guys. No, just.
Quick question. You guys probably don't have the answer to this, and maybe we can put our heads together, but like, what kind of time frame are we talking about? Like,
Well, we'd like to get this as soon as Debbie vets them. That'll be by lunchtime tomorrow.
Tonight.
But we can't, we're not discussing it tonight,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
just let them, let her verify,
Yeah.
and then
Then
a
we'll do the
hearing
next steps.
date will have to be set in the future.
And we'll speak with our attorney is familiar with the process, so we could have him contact your attorney maybe and just make sure we're all on the same page. And we don't get held up by not doing something correctly. Does that make sense? We just want to work with you on this, that's all.
Yeah, let's go one step at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was the
that's
first
that
major
step,
step.
go
Get
there,
this
and then we
petition
can-
in and
Yep.
we'll just kind of go
Okay,
from there.
Perfect.
So,
That's the easiest thing to do.
Thank you.
thank you
Great.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it.
in too. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
you're welcome. Take care.
Okay, then we'll go back to our regular order. So who'd like to go first? And any updates that they have? All right, well, that makes it quick. Matt went first then.
I'll go second. I don't have anything either.
Okay, nothing yet? I know it's either you had a week or you didn't have a week yet, right?
So I updated the business calendar. The business calendar is on our website. It has a map with all our businesses, and several have closed and several have opened, so it is now updated. I attended a zoning board meeting. There was a site plan approval, use variance for outdoor storage of construction equipment on Brickyard Road. The site will contain offices, maintenance, and equipment storage, which was the main conversation. Basically, they said that the number of equipment that would come and go is seasonal basis, and several plans were shown and on exhibit, and That's amazing. Great questions that the zoning board comes up with to clarify things. And they especially were very focused on stormwater, too, which was it's really great to know that people are so on top of things there. December 16th, this was last year. I didn't get to report out. There was an EC meeting. This was their last meeting of the year. And they're moving forward on the community energy plan grant. It's terrific. John did a great job of scheduling out how this can be done within a year to get the community energy plan accomplished. Delpha is working on identifying funding sources for an outdoor classroom. And then the stream cleanup, 14th year, I cannot believe it. April 12th from 9 to 12, the Watershed Institute is putting on their annual stream cleanup. Any questions?
When will that, like maybe a link go out so that people can sign up for the stream cleanup? They usually do that like 6 weeks.
Yeah,
in
well,
advance?
next week is the next EC and we'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'll make sure we ask them.
Okay. Great.
Thank you. I have a few things to share for tonight. I did, since our reorg meeting, actually the night of our reorg meeting, I attended the Plainsboro reorganization meeting, and that's where Mayor Cantu, who has been mayor for 40 years, stepped down. God bless him. And Ed Yates took on as the new mayor, and deputy mayor is Mayor Bander. And it was a really nice event. Governor Murphy came for that event, so it was pretty cool. And then I attended the Middlesex County reorganization meeting on January 7th. Lots of reorganizing. And it's just nice to know that all the pieces are back together and that everybody is functioning for the year on, full steam ahead. In terms of our local meetings, the Personnel Subcommittee had a meeting on January 3rd, and we discussed staffing issues and, just sort of conversation to start the year with. The DRC met January 9th. And we received an application from the CHA. We had talked a little bit about the group home that was being proposed towards the end of last year. I think we talked a little bit about that. And the application just talked about the logistics of a little bit of extra land that's needed from the township. And so I have sent that to all of you as an email. And there are 2 images in particular that I'd like you all to look at. And I did also reference the DRC meeting itself if you wanted to go through it for the exact details. But as you look through all of that, if you have questions, I'd be very happy to answer them. And, we're gonna be looking to discuss it at length at the next meeting. What else did I do? The planning board met the same night. And the results of the reorganization meeting there, our chair is Evelyn Spahn, our deputy chair is Wayne Whitman, and our DRC representative is Bill Giddings, so no change there. And the application that Wayfair had an application, we were supposed to be reading a resolution for them that night, but they did not show up, so they deferred for the next meeting. And we instead went on to discuss sort of reflecting back on applications from the last year. What is it about some of the applications that ended up eating up a lot of our time in the meetings, and how could we move forward a little more efficiently? And so we discussed that, quite heavily, and the board, so the board professionals will look at a little bit of some of that just to see, are there any general trends that have been occurring that we need to sort of try and streamline so that we're not always reinventing the wheel right there. Like maybe we can actually put some of that into, as part of our plan or checklist or something like that. So they're going to take a look at that. And that is all I have. Any questions?
No, just thank you for the DRC recap. It was really, really thorough. So we're going to add that to the agenda for January 20. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I just encourage everyone to read the work because it was very thorough so that we could get questions, get ahead of it so that it's a more productive session. Okay, all right, I just have a couple of things. As of today, we have 94 dogs and 12 cats, but we think that number is actually a little higher. I am very proud to say that Monty the Golden Doodle is one of them. So I have not I did not repeat. I'm not a repeat offender. But the applications, they've been available on Town Hall since December 30th. All pets need to be licensed by the end of this month. And there's a new automated system, which I test drove, and it was awesome. And I got Monty's license in the mail within a week, which was great. So very, very intuitive and easy to use. You can also still come to Town Hall and fill out that application, and you get the application offline. And then if your pet, unfortunately, is no longer with us, then there's a link also on the site to just make sure that the town's aware of that. Again, I just wanted to thank the heroic efforts of the Cranbury Volunteer Fire Department, as well as I'm going to amend this to 18 other municipalities that responded to that devastating fire. So please keep that family in your daily thoughts as they try to rebuild and adjust after this loss. Also, please consider volunteering for the local fire department, as volunteers are always needed. And I think all of us up here can say there's nothing more rewarding than serving your community. The Princeton school system is welcoming a new superintendent, Michael LaSousa. He comes from the Chatham School District. He'll be joining in June. I want to thank the Board of Ed for, I want to say, countless hours of vetting and interviewing to ensure that our high school students and all of Princeton are in good hands. On that same note, Cranbury School sent out a notification last week that there was a cybersecurity event that happened. It wasn't Cranbury School, it was the Power School platform. So it was a school technology platform. The breach wasn't specifically on Cranbury's data, but it was an overarching national event that they had. And there's a link to the communication that will come out tomorrow. So if anyone wants to read that, if you didn't happen to get it. And just as a reminder, our current police chief, Michael Owens, will be retiring at the end of January. We wish him the best as he enjoys more time for himself after an honorable career serving Cranbury for more than 25 years. And we warmly welcome our new chief, Police Giuseppe DeSharo. He brings with him a passion for service, a love of our town, and a commitment to our safety. Our annual rabies clinic is going to happen just in time in case when you go to get your pet license, they don't have an updated rabies shot. This is going to be January 25th from 1 to 2 p.m. at the firehouse. This is for dogs only and weather permitting. And you can register on the township website. And the deadline is just the day before at noon. So you can get in there under the wire. And that's kind of all I had.
Mayor Knierim, I had a question for you. Shoot. And that is with regards to the rabies clinic. If people are not registered, will they be able to participate in that clinic?
Well, when we did it, Matt, we did have some walk-ups and we're able to accommodate that. So if they didn't register, we would just be able to log them in the book as long as they had they have to have that rabies certification, and it has to be within a year from October, valid after, before October 25.
Okay, we have a different veterinarian this time though, right? Will they honor the same? Will they honor yeah, okay, perfect.
I think prefer to have them registered so that they can kind of plan it.
Okay.
And they're not overwhelmed. If the only thing that they might have to do is wait, right? So if someone was there and scheduled and registered, then they would just have to maybe get in line,
The
depending
whole
on
point
that.
of registering was so that there weren't dogs aggravating one another and,
Yeah, they could pace it
barking
out.
and, getting anxious and
Yeah.
trying to run away. And so that was the whole reason why the registration. But I know the vet took walk-ups last year. I'm sure this vet doesn't really know the difference. They'll also take the
Okay,
walk-up.
that's great. Yeah, thank you.
Where do cats get their rabies?
Not here.
There's
Sure,
rabies
there-
clinics all across Middlesex
Do we have a
County.
recommendation?
The link, we don't recommend, there's a link on our website that always has the link to Middlesex County where the rabies clinics are throughout the county.
Good to know. Okay, I don't think we have any subcommittees and we already went through department heads, so.
I have a question about the budget meeting.
Oh, yeah, thank
So we're
you.
looking to schedule the budget meeting Saturday, January 25th.
Oh, wow. That day is so full.
Oh, boy.
I agree.
Okay.
That day is really,
I don't know. I'm quadruple booked that day. Do we have another option?
Matt can't do it, you can't do it. Let's see.
That's also the day of the rabies clinic.
Matt talked about a Sunday. How do people feel about a Sunday?
The 20,
Seriously?
the 26th?
Yep.
I can't, I'm not here. I'm in a chat, you'll have to run the meeting. I have a shower in Pennsylvania, I'm sorry.
And you're not available the following Saturday? Right.
And then we're pushing it too far.
Yeah, that's
So-
too
so-
far
So
out.
Matt, you're not available at all on that Saturday? Yeah. No, okay. I mean, I could,
I mean, I need 3, preferably 4.
Possible we can do it on a weeknight?
I mean, we can get it done, if we can get it done in a couple of hours, we can do it at night.
I mean, I think we have to just also pick a time that allows for some of the stakeholders to come in, right? They're like people that have sort of asked.
We don't
for-
really have anyone, Parks isn't asking for anything except for the pavilion roof,
Okay,
so we don't need them to come in. We don't need fire to come in because honestly, I don't even know what's happening with the fire district, so we're just gonna move forward with the budget the way that it is for the year.
okay.
HPC was like.
Police will
minimal.
come in to discuss capital, that's pretty much it.
HPC?
HPC, they already
No.
submitted the budget. It was like
Okay.
nominal. It was like
Yeah, there's
nothing,
nothing, no.
that needs to be discussed.
No, no capital.
Not like a signage program like last year.
Shade Tree gave us their budget, we put it in, just like we did last year.
Okay, so it really is just us. Let's, and the dates we're throwing around right now are the 25th, which is a Saturday, the 26th, which is a Sunday, and I'm sorry, what is the last date that you?
We could try to do a weeknight if we want to try to do that. We have a TC meeting on the 27th, so we can't do it that night.
Next Tuesday would probably.
Are there any board meetings that
No.
I'm
Tuesday?
gonna double check.
I don't have anything on the
I don't
calendar.
think
I
so,
listed
usually
them
at the
all
end.
here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're the last meeting that was on our township publicized calendar is our TC meeting.
No, not ready, yeah. I
Yeah, we don't
all
have
my
our books or
numbers yet.
anything, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to have some time with our books as well.
I mean, the 28th?
So 28th, the 28th, there is nothing on the township calendar on any meetings, so.
What about the following? Saturday?
That's no good for Matt.
How about that 27th after our meeting?
After our TC meeting?
That's going to be going into the late hours. I was going to suggest, what about the 28th and starting, can we start at 5 PM?
I can.
Like
Everybody
versus
else?
starting, no? Is there any
What
day
time?
that week,
We need 4
29th or
hours, right? We need
30th?
3 people.
Well, 4 would be
4
better.
was better.
No, I'm not going to be ready
Yeah,
yet.
it's not ready. We're not gonna be ready yet.
I
I
was
don't
just
even
thinking
have my
any,
assessed value yet. 24th is Friday. Well, we're gonna have to pick a date and I need 4, so let's.
Do we just take it off
No,
line?
What was the 28th? There was,
What was
was
wrong
it
with
the
the
problem
28th?
at 5 or?
28th
At 6
Matt
o'clock.
can't do it at 5. Can you do it
Yes.
at
What-
6?
What time can you get here? Well, can you, we start at 6 and then you get here?
Start without me.
Matt says no. Well, we did it without Barbara
We
last
did
year.
it without me last year.
All hell broke loose.
Oh,
Yeah, look how hard it was last year.
Okay, so, Matt.
But the first is too late?
what is?
First?
Matt can't do
Matt
it.
can't
the
do it.
first.
You can't do it that following Saturday. Yeah, after our meeting on the
Yeah, the first-
27th, I think it's just going to go too late.
Great.
28th.
Let's do 28th.
At what time?
7?
We're doing it at 7?
We'll get it done by 9.
That's fine. So I just need to know for the
Okay.
advertisement.
I mean, the last 2 years, on
Yeah, we were
average, it
done.
was literally a 2-hour, we scheduled it for longer, but it was about 2 hours.
Just make sure there's no other meetings.
There it
There's
is.
There
not.
isn't.
They
Yeah, we
checked.
just
It's our
checked the
meeting
calendar.
now.
Do we need to check with the police if they could make it? then,
No.
or we'll just- we'll
The
make
new
it happen?
chief's very accommodating.
Hold on, can we nod your head? Yes, thank you, sir.
Good timing.
Okay, all right. January 28th, 7 PM.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
You got it. All the merrier. Okay, anything else?
Not for me.
And we don't have any follow-ups on
No.
anything that we discussed so far? Okay. All right. So boards and commissions, we have a mayoral appointment this evening. John Muselli, Cranberry's construction officer, is going to be appointed to the planning board Class 2 member. And that will complete mayoral appointments at this point. And then our openings for our boards and commissions right now, I'm happy to say we have 2 or 3 members that are open. Everything else is actually a first or second alternative, which is really good. The other TC appointment, should I do the TC appointment at the same time? No? Okay. Perfect. So the openings that we have right now on the Environmental Commission is a full member, term expiring the end of '26. We have the first and second alternative that are open. And I'll post this tomorrow too in the mayor's update, just so we can try to amplify what our openings are, vacancies. Municipal Alliance is a first and second alternative that are open. Parks and Rec will have a second alternative open. Shade Tree has a full member open, and zoning has a full member open. So if we can try to get the word out and amplify those and see if we can get some folks. And then we're going to go through some recent applications, recent meaning the last couple of months, that, we might be able to contact some folks and see if we can fill these by our next meeting. Okay.
I'm not sure, but where the list, can we have it sent to us of the openings?
Yeah,
That'd
sure.
be really
It'll
great.
be in the mayor's update tomorrow too.
Yeah, but
Yep.
it'd be great if we
Yeah,
could get it in
sure.
our email. Thanks.
Okay, that's all I had for that. Okay, we have a first reading tonight. Okay, so we're going to introduce ordinance 0125-01 and ordinance 01-25-02.
So we're going to start with the first ordinance, ordinance number 01-25-01, to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. We could have a motion to introduce.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Thank you. We're going to move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher,
Yes.
Ms. Seldavi,
Yes.
Dr. Rogers.
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes?
and Mayor Knierim.
Yes.
And that second reading will be on January 27th, and that was unanimous for introduction. Now we'll move on to ordinance number 01-25-02, creating in the Code of the Township of Cranbury, Chapter 6, entitled Restricted Areas in Certain Municipal Buildings. If I could have a motion to introduce?
I'll move.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Ms. Seldavi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mayor Knierim.
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous. And again, that'll be second reading, January 27th.
Perfect. Okay, we have no second reading for any ordinances, so we can move on to resolutions A through D.
I'd like to move resolutions A through D.
Second.
Thank you. We'll move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Ms. Albadawi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Knierim.
Yes.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Okay, next is we'd like to open the floor up for any public comment. As we've reiterated countless times, this is really our time to listen. and to provide feedback from the community to us. You can step up, just sign your name and your address, and speak into the microphone with a 3-minute time limit. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll move on to any updated action items.
I just captured the one where you told Barbara you would email her the openings.
Got it.
And DRC review.
The DRC review, you already have that.
Yeah, I know, that's what our action item is.
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yes.
And
Thank
the
you.
meeting, January 28th. 27th?
28th, Tuesday.
28th.
28.
That's the
Tuesday.
budget meeting, that's the budget.
The
meeting.
budget meeting.
Yeah, 28th. Get
Yeah.
confused.
What day? I'm
yeah,
glad
yeah,
I
yeah.
mentioned it again. 28th.
Got it.
Budget meeting.
Okay, great. All right, we're now going to move into a closed session where we ask the members of the public to leave for a closed session. No action will be taken on behalf of the Township Committee, and we will re-adjourn after our closed session.
So we need a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to do roll call on this for Cranberry Township Resolution R-01-25-20 to move into closed session. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Ms. Salvadori?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Mr. Scott?
Yeah.
Mayor Knierim?
Yes.
Thank you. Please give me a moment to